Good evening, everyone. It is 7 o'clock. I would like to call the meeting to order. Does anybody wish to make the adoption of the agenda? Moved by Councillor Hill, seconded by Councillor Como. All those in favor? Against? We're ready to go. Any declaration of conflict of interest? If not, we will go on to number 4, presentations. I don't think we have any this evening. This is number 8, the statements. We will go on to item 5, adoption of minutes, 5.1, September 15th, 2021, the regular council meeting. Does anybody wish to move the minutes? Councillor Hill, seconded by Councillor DeVoe. All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. 5.2, the meeting of October 6th. It would be the council in committee meeting. Does anybody wish to move the adoption of the minutes? Moved by Councillor DeVoe, seconded by Councillor Potier. All those in favor? Against? It's good. We will go on to item 6, the business arising from previous council meetings. I don't think we have anything there. And we will go on to 7, the Deputy Warden's activity report. On September 21st, I attended a meeting of the bylaw committee to revise the municipal rate at 25 and the rule regarding the buildings. And on the 25th of September, I attended to a meeting of the councillors of governors at Université Sainte-Anne. And the 28th of September, I attended to a meeting of the board of directors of the Villa Acadienne. It's just the regular monthly meeting. And on October 7th, I attended the meeting of the board of directors of the Acadian Community Economic Development of Nova Scotia. At that meeting, Alfred Poirier was named vice president, and he replaced Ronnie Leblanc, who had that position before him. And on October 13th, I attended a meeting of the board of directors of the Villa Acadienne. It was a special meeting we had last week to discuss the lack of manpower that we have there. And we had another on October 19th. It was a meeting of the board of directors of the Villa Acadienne. The same item on that agenda, and that's about it. Any questions on this? If not, we will go on to number 8, the official statements from the members of council. Does anybody have anything for that? Councillor Godet? Thank you. I would like to congratulate Simon and Lowell Briggs on their 55th wedding anniversary on October 6th. And with the permission of the council, I would like to send a letter of congratulations. If everybody agrees to send a letter, okay, yes. It is noted. Anybody else? Councillor Doucette? In the past few months, we had 4 young athletes who participated at the 100 elite athletes to take part in the finals, national finals for RBC this fall, to get the chance to obtain financing for the Olympic Canadian team. 30 will be chosen between these athletes, and I would like to add that Riley DeVoe of Church Point is one of those athletes who is in the last 100 students, and I wish him good luck It's nice to see athletes from Clare who are still active and who are doing well for Nova Scotia and the municipality of Clare in general. Thank you. It sounds like he will represent us. Should we send him something, a congratulation? Do you want to send him a certificate for that? Or a letter, yes? Okay. Do you all agree on that? Okay. Okay, any other official presentations? Councillor Hill?
I think it's a little bit overdue, but we'd like to congratulate Ronnie LeBlanc on winning MLA in his seat. And I'd like to see council write him a letter and thank him for his 20 years of service on council as a warden and as a councillor, if that's okay.
I'll agree to send a letter to Mr. LeBlanc, yes? We will send that. Anybody else wish to have another presentation? We will go on to item 9, correspondence. We did not receive any. And 10, it will be the Chief Administrative Officer's report. I would start with an overview of the internet project and update. I will make this part of the report
has in excess of 350 customers that are now online. During my last report in September, I had indicated that phases 1 to 8 were now complete, and basically that mainland was now completing installation in those phases. So again, that would be Route 1 from Comoville to St. Bernard, New Edinburgh, Bas de la Rivière, Ohio to Hassett, the side roads along this area, concession, Patrice Road, Little Brook Station, concession, Saint Joseph, PF Como Road, from the cultural hub in Comoville to the Emira Road, or in the Sonyville Road, 2nd Division Road, Eustache Como Road, and finally, the C. Sonia Road. So again, these, as of last month, were all open, and mainland was actively completing installations. I'm pleased to announce that now phases 9 and 10 are also complete, and mainland is now completing installation in these phases. So this would include Matagan River, D'Entremont Road, Placide Como Road, the Matagan Connector, Bonnie Road, and the Peter Dugo Road, and the John Thibodeau Road. So residents along those, on these roads or in this area who are wanting to connect to mainland's network are now able to do so by simply calling them and booking an appointment. Phase 11, which is the Sonyville Road, because that's what's preventing the company from lighting up a large area of the network. So we're hopeful that that will happen sooner rather than later, but it's been an ongoing process for quite some time now. So that is a significant bottleneck on our end, or on the company's end. Phase 12, which is the remainder of the D'Entremont Road out to the Salmon Lake area. Splicing there is ongoing, but there too they are somewhat hindered by the highway crossing on the 2nd Division Road, which is yet to be completed. Phase 13, which is Highway 1 and side roads from the Matagan Connector to Mavillette. Strand and fiber construction are ongoing. Phase 14, which is Highway 1 and side roads from Mavillette to Beaver River. The strand and fiber construction is ongoing. Pole work is taking place this week, and the Salmon River water assessment is ongoing. Phase 15, which is Salmon River Road and Hectanuga Road and other side streets as outlined. Here the trimming started on the week of October 11th, so fairly recently. Phase 16, which is the Salmon River and the Lake Dowsett Road. There's really no update here from last month. We're still awaiting Nova Scotia Power to scope, so basically to scope the area, essentially approve the plan as presented by mainland. Phase 17, which is the cleanup areas throughout a few isolated cleanup areas throughout the municipality, including Thibault Road. The trimming started for these areas, and it's really hard to appreciate without having a map in front of us, but the trimming started on these areas Monday of this week, on Monday of this week, the 18th, which should in turn allow, for these pockets of homes throughout the community to get that work completed in an expedited fashion. Phase 18, which is the Norwood Road, the Peter LeBlanc Road, and Cranberry Lake, scoping has been submitted in early October. However, to date, we haven't received word back from either Bell or Nova Scotia Power. By all accounts, the appearance is that they haven't had a chance to review the plan as of yet. Just as a reminder, normally Bell would review the plan, scope the route and review the plan. Then from there, it would be sent to Nova Scotia Power, who would do the same thing, review the route and scope the plan, and then finally give their approval to Mainland, at which point the work would commence. All things considered, the project is advancing well. The bottleneck in terms of work continues to be the make-ready, the trimming work mostly. Crews are currently working in Mavillette, but they will be coming up to fill in some gaps around Victor Lake, Stewart Street, Charles Road, etc., as Phase 17 gets completed. So as soon as they do their work, they're going to be pulled up to focus on individual pockets throughout the municipality. Mainland is hoping to open Phases 11 and 12 in November. So once again, Phase 11 is the Sonyville Road to the Maxwellton Road, and then Phase 12 would be D'Entremont Road out to the Salmon Lake area. And finally, again, Mainland continues to push Nova Scotia Power to expedite the 2nd Division Road highway crossing. And I know in speaking with company representatives today, they have a meeting with Nova Scotia Power tomorrow, in which they are hoping for some good news, because this has been an ongoing issue for quite some time. So we should know more on the state of that highway crossing tomorrow.
Pour ce qui est du the communauté accueillante on the 17th of September, I went to a Pride festival that was financed the international launch of the month, and this was people from residents in Clare who are preparing these meals. The international flags, or they're trying to gain popularity amongst the people in Clare, so that they can. We're trying to encourage people to participate as these international meals our next meal will be a Philippine meal. There are 3 employees of Riverside who will work with this crew to prepare this meal. On September 15th to the 15th, 27th and 15th, we went to the inauguration of the pétanque play at Mariduga Park in Bellevue Cove. On October 13th, we had our first session of welcoming to the new people who arrived in this community, people who came from elsewhere in Canada and people who came from other countries. It was the first time that we had this type of event, and there was a lot of people present. There were professionals from the health community of Clare, and everybody said it was a really nice meeting. The 19th to the 21st of October, we will participate in a colloque for the Francophone, which is held by the Société Nationale of Acadie. On the 29th, we will start conversational classes for English that will be held every evening from the 7th to the 13th. There was meetings of activities that will be made with partnership with Université Sainte-Anne, and it will be with the Immigration of Nova Scotia and the Arts Council of Nova Scotia and other people. The program for this week will be shown later on this week. Now we are working in collaboration with other provincial partners to try to uh, welcome Afghanistan refugees here in Nova Scotia. For our cultural center, we will ask for financing, but we must wait for what we will get from the federal government for this our project of tourism public spaces. As you would remember, we had made a request for money, but we had only reserved one request, and other firms had submitted at the last minute, and then we decided not to accept these. So we would be asking for smaller requests pertaining to other parks. Up to now we have 4 requests. There's geotechnical survey for platforms that we're building at Cape St. Mary's and probably at Smuggler's Cove. And there will be, we'll know next Friday whether this will be accepted. There was another one for Joseph Dugas Park. The financing request there will be closed on the 29th of October. And also a request for Cape St. Mary's for the lighthouse. That request will be closed on November 19th. And finally, for the 4th one, for signage, wayfinding signage, this request will also be closed on the 19th of November. As you know, all these 4 requests for financing are conditional to financing from the Nova Scotia government and also from the federal government. Up to now, we have seen quite a bit of interest on these. The fact that we're trying to encourage people to put submissions for our housing plan. We had published also a request to get pieces of land inside the municipality for the construction of affordable housing. This is now closed. We had about 10 submissions across the municipality that might have people who might have been interested to sell us some pieces of land. We are presently evaluating these requests, and we do this with other people who myself and Pam Dusa will meet at the end of next week to see the submissions that we have received and discuss what are the next stages to go through. We have reduced the list to certain pieces that offer most potential to the municipality. And it will be interesting for the public and private sector to maybe follow up with these. There is also the sidewalks in Metigan. We're waiting for answers. There's a program of financing that was announced by the federal but has not been launched yet because of the federal election. Also, for the Clare Health Center, we have a alarm system that was ordered, and we think it will be come in soon, maybe next week. The modernization of the telephone system will also be done in the next few weeks, and we hope that the same exercise will be done as we have done here at the municipal building. Also, there are certain projects for the health center. There's a project for $12,000 submitted to the Yarmouth Health Condition. This project was put together by the doctors at the health center. The objective of this is to have access to certain equipment at the health center to widen our service offerings there for the residents of Clare, and also to increase preventive measures of health, introduce also health programs for patients group, and also to promote to choose healthy living standards. So the doctors have asked us that it was very important to do this on the first level of the building, and it will help us if we try to attract more health professionals in the years to come. We don't have any news of this particular project now, but the foundation said that we will have answers soon. The
second request for funds was for $20,938, aiming the vaccine program in Clare. This would be through the health centers, community health centers. The request was made, and we learned today that our request for the full amount was approved. The goal is to do the promotion, the education of towards vaccines, and to give bilingual resources to our professional health professionals, and to promote in their community with an emphasis on rural communities. So it is also something to help our doctors in the promotion, not only the doctors, but the professional health professionals, pharmacists, for example. It is not limited to the medical center staff, but we want to promote in both official languages. For the bathrooms on the Maxwellton Bournemouth roads is going forward. The cement bases have been completed, and the staff here will be able to install them next week, and we are waiting for JD Composites to give us both buildings. I'm not sure of the date that we will receive them, but it is especially Danielle who is taking care of that. For the track and field at the St. Anne's, the project is going well. The installation of electric posts and the cement base is going on. The asphalt for the surface and the synthetic grass is scheduled for November 8th in a few weeks. And presently, I'm told that the project is about 50% completed. Substantial completion. We plan to have it at the end of fall, at the end of November. So what will remain to be done then is the covering in rubber, and that will be done in the spring, because at the end of November it is too cold to install this rubber surface. For the garbage collection, as you know, we have a new supplier. We are 3 weeks in the new contract with the new furnace supplier. The garbage collect in residences are going very well. There were a few isolated minor problems in the past, but it is nothing that cannot be corrected. Today we met with the supplier and Waste Check, as well as myself and a few staff members, just to solve these problems. And the strategy is especially at the education level. So we will work on that in the next few weeks with Waste Check and the supplier. For the financing, the municipality is in a good financial position. At the end of September 30th, we had $8,544,196 in revenue versus $4,856,630 in expenses. We had an operation surplus of over $3 million. Again, as of September 30th, the municipality had a balance of 3 million, over 3 million in its operation costs, $247,160 in its projects for capital, and a total end reserve of 5,357,238. The last amount, the 5.3 millions, can be broken down as follows. Our operation reserve, $2,142,024. For capital reserves, $2,400,000 plus dollars. The landfill closure, $334,816, and the gas tax reserves of $383,109,000. I would like to indicate that today we received our first installment for the projects on the go, and that's because the federal government has decided to double the amount of gas tax that we will receive. So in the last quarter of the financial year, we will get it. That is my report. Any question, Councillor Camon? For the Veterans Center, for the synthetic ice, is there a completion date planned for the project? Yes, I was told the last time about a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks and we are still waiting. The problem is with the boards. They have been put away, but the panels, I saw some photos. The construction is completed. They are ready to be delivered, but we hear a lot today about supply chain delays in the international level. Unfortunately, our panels are victims of that also. So we hope to get them in 3 or 4 weeks now, if I'm not mistaken. And they are sorry for the delay, but they will keep us informed and hope to have them in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Councillor DeVoe. Mr. C, when you gave your report on the internet, did you mention the e-lake? You might have mentioned it, I don't recall. It's the beginning, different phases. I am looking quickly. I know that there was, I don't see it here, but I mentioned it in my last monthly report. I don't see it here, but I can come back with an update on that section to tell you what is going on there. Councillor Poitier? Councillor Gaudette? I have a question. If the 2 fire departments were contacted regarding the water hole at the center, Pam Doucette met the fire chiefs of those 2 departments. We talked about the plan of what we propose, and which would be similar to the water hole in Little Brook. The 2 chiefs were 100% in agreement with what we were proposing and saw a lot of value in it. They were happy that we were proposing it because they also judged that it is something important given the buildings in that region and the closeness of the buildings. It is a commercial rather than residential zone. So next week, our building inspectors, the 3 of them are in training this week, but next week we will start to put the specs together and come out with a tender for that work to arrive at expenses or costs. And then I will have something concrete to present to you for a price, and we will decide if we want to go forward with it or not. The comments up until now from Little Brook and Meteghan have been positive regarding that water hole. Any more comments or questions on this? If not, thank you for that, Stefan. It's nice to see our majority of our projects going forward. We will go on to item 11.1, report of the building permits. Councillor Hill?
The building permits report, in September of 2020, we had, up to the end of September 2020, we had 204 permits issued for a value of construction of $7.8 million. And up to the end of September 2021, we had 222 permits for a value of construction of just over $41 million.
Thank you for that, Councillor Hill. Any questions or comments on this? If not, we will go on to 11.2, the Police Advisory Board. Councillor Eric Poche.
Thank you. On the 27th of September, we met at the board, and Councillor LeBlanc was with us, and she gave us a few. There's one new member in Metegan. He gave us some statistics for the 1st of April to September 1st. Speeding 162, checkpoints 85, and crimes.
Well-being checks, mental health. With this,
From 10 to 34. They're quite busy. Are there any questions or comments on this one? If not, we go to number 12, new business. The 12.1 is a motion to increase the deed transfer tax. The description to increase the deed transfer tax have been talked on earlier this summer. It was based on what was the tax that was asked by other adjoining municipalities. There were a few that were, or two across the province that have lower tax rate. Clare is one of those. It's 0.5 percentage, and our tax rate has not changed in the last 40 years. So if we look of this tax rate, we're not talking about taxes, residential tax or commercial tax that are charged to the commerce of the provinces. This is a tax that is charged. It's based on the sale price of a residence, and it is the sale tax that's included on the house. So the people who buy the property are responsible to pay these taxes. Each municipality has the right to define this tax rate. It is not something that is dictated by the province to us, but as I said, the municipality of Clare, our rates stayed very low for the past 40 years, and it's one of the lowest ones in the province. So the recommendation had been made in council to consider an increase, very modest increase of 0.5% to 1% to be more in line with what other municipalities are charging. So this is something that would allow us, budget-wise, that can help us. So it's something that we, all prices are going up in education for the RCMP, for also fire services. So this could help us to reduce a bit the pressure that we have every year. So the recommendation of the committee and from myself is that council accepts to increase this tax rate from 0.5% to 1% and effective on April 1st, 2022. Are there questions on this motion? If not, would somebody, Carl? I move that the council for the municipality of the district of Clare increase the deed transfer tax for the municipality of the district of Clare from 0.5% to 1% effective April 1st, 2022. Proposed by Councillor DeVoe and seconded by Councillor Hill. Are there any questions? All those in favor? Against? Motion carried. 12.2 is a motion to amend the bylaw number 25, a bylaw respecting building, first reading. This is the modifications that were proposed by our staff and the bylaw committee. Essentially, we propose a few revisions to the bylaw. We added a few definitions. We also modernized a bit the language in the bylaw, and the big changes is when we speak about the prices. We worked a lot to add more qualifications, different permits for different types of projects involving building. So essentially, with this first revision, the first reason is because there was a formulation in this bylaw that when we used it, it put us in a disadvantage when we compared to our neighboring municipalities in southwest Nova Scotia. And according, when we talked about the inspection, the officers, so the bylaw has decided to abolish this section, and with the bylaw has been sent to our lawyers, and our inspectors, and the lawyers have accepted these. So the recommendation that we're today, our motion is the first time passed, presented. Are there any questions? Is there somebody who will like to present this?
I move that the council for the municipality of the District of Clare read bylaw number 25, amendment number 25-02-2021, a bylaw respecting building, and that the bylaw be read for the first time by title only.
And are there all those in favor? Motion passed. It's yes to read a second time.
25, a bylaw respecting building. This is 12.3 is a motion to award a tender for renovation of a washroom renovation. In October, earlier in October, and in September we asked for a submission for renovate washrooms on the basement of the Metegan Library. We judged it was important to renovate these washrooms because it was quite evident when we saw them, but the principal reason was for access. The washrooms were not accessible, and we wanted to ask for submissions for this. We had 2 submissions, and after evaluating, the recommendation would give this contract to Intuitive Carpentry Inc. to the amount of $26,525.54 plus HST. Are there questions on this? Is there somebody who wants to do the motion?
I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare award the tender for the library washroom renovation to Intuitive Carpentry Inc. in the amount of $26,525,054 plus HST, and that these funds be taken from the municipality's capital reserve. Proposed by Councillor DeVoe, seconded by Councillor Dusa. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor? Against? Motion carried. 12.4, motion to send a letter of support to the Société Acadienne de Clare. The Société.
The director of the Société Acadienne approached me. She is asking you for a letter of support to accompany her operational financing budget for the next 3 years. A letter of support is needed to show the community support to their request. We sent a similar letter in 2018 for their last request for funds from Heritage Canada, and they are asking for the same letter to accompany her new request that will go from 2022 to 2025. So it is something that I recommend. The Acadian Society is a good partner of ours, and it is appropriate that we send a letter of support. Any questions on this? Councillor Potier. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare write a letter of support to the Société Acadienne de Clare in support of its operational funding request 2022 to 2025 to Canadian Heritage. Moved by Councillor Potier, seconded by Councillor DeVoe. Ready for the vote? All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. 12.5, motion to appoint an assistant building official and assistant fire inspector, which would be Ryan LeBlanc. This is more at the administrative level. We hired Ryan LeBlanc as an assistant to the building and the fire inspector, and to formalize his nomination, we have to make a motion to appoint him. Any questions or comments? If not, anybody wish to make the motion? Mr. Potier? Councillor Godet? Third time, not bad. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare appoint Ryan LeBlanc as the new Assistant Building Official and Assistant Fire Inspector for the Municipality of Clare. Anybody wish to second that? Councillor Hill, ready for the vote? All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. 12.6, another motion to apply for appointment of a special constable, Ryan LeBlanc. This is a request we have to make to the Department of Justice of Nova Scotia to essentially appoint Ryan LeBlanc as special agent. It allows him to reinforce our municipal bylaws. And to do that, the municipality has to name him and accept the nomination of Mr. LeBlanc. This is what I am proposing this evening, a proposal to appoint him. Any questions or comments on this? Ready to make the motion? Councillor DeVoe. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare make an application to the Department of Justice for the appointment of Ryan LeBlanc as Special Constable under the Nova Scotia Police Act for the enforcement of legislation and or municipal bylaws. Moved by Councillor DeVoe, seconded by Councillor Godin. Are you ready for the vote? All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. 12.7, motion to purchase rotor blades for the wastewater treatment plant in Church Point. The blades in question is part of all our treatment plants. The blades that we are talking about this evening is for the plant in Church Point. Those that are there now are broken or cracked, and that limits the efficiency of the plant. So it's something that needs to be replaced. We cannot do otherwise. We had included an amount in our capital budget for 2021-22 for that purchase. We had estimates in April of 1,210 American dollars per blade, and we are purchasing a set of 12 blades. We did not do the purchase right away because we were expecting for the province to help with a program to buy these blades, but the province has not done it yet. The program isn't there yet, and we are in October, almost November. Unfortunately, in that 5-6 period, the cost of the blades have tripled. So we are looking at $3,810. The supplier, we have to deal with him because they have supplied all the plants. So for the strength of the blades and the equipment, we have to go with that supplier. So they were not able to give us a valid reason, according to me, to explain the increase in price, except to say that that's what it is. Unfortunately, we do not have a choice. We need those blades. It's that plant that serves the university as well, the houses in Church Point. So the recommendation of the staff and myself is to proceed with the purchase of those blades, a set of 12 from Lakeside Equipment Corporation at the amount of $57,874 plus HST, and that we include $3,000 for the shipping and $500 for the hardware to facilitate the installation, for a total of $61,374. Any clarification on this? No? Anybody wish to make the motion?
I move that the municipality of the District of Clare purchase a set of 12 rotor blades for the wastewater treatment plant in Church Point from Lakeside Equipment Corporation in the amount of $57,874 plus HST, as well as an additional allowance of $3,000 for shipping and $500 for hardware, for a total of $61,374 plus HST, and that these funds be taken from the municipality's capital reserve.
Moved by Councillor Hill, seconded by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. 12.8, a motion to send a letter of support to the Belleville Cove Development Commission. The Belleville Cove Development Commission is raising funds to purchase the Jean Beliveau boat, boat that was built by Jean Beliveau. To do that, they are approaching different individuals and businesses, and for the purchase of the boat, their intention is to have the boat be part of the Joseph and Marie Degas Park as part of our project of the development of that park. In talking with different groups or businesses that are considering a contribution for the purchase of the boat, the question was asked, is the municipality in agreement? Do they support their efforts? So they are looking for a letter from us that would indicate that yes, we will allow the installation of the boat in the park, and that will be created in Belleville Cove. We could not give them the letter exactly that we will accept it in the center because we are not sure yet if the center will be built. But we don't have architectural plans yet. We don't have a confirmation of the people, of the fund suppliers. So we cannot say that the boat will be in the center, but we're not sure if the center will become a reality, but we are working in good faith with the commission and other community partners for the development of the park that could include the creation of a new interpretive center that could include the Jean Beliveau's boat. So essentially, we want to indicate that we are supporting their efforts for the boat, but we do not want to be pushed in a corner because we are not sure if the center will be built. So essentially, it's for a letter that yes, the municipality supports the efforts of the commission.
Are there questions on this one? If not, does somebody want to make the motion? Councillor DeVoe? I move that the municipality of the District of Clare send a letter to the Belleville Cove Development Commission in support of their ongoing fundraising efforts to purchase the Stella Maris, a 36-foot replica of a 17th century Dutch Royal class vessel. Proposed by Councillor DeVoe and seconded by Councillor Godin. Everybody in favor? Against? Motion carried. 12.10, a motion to name a road, Grand Point Road. We have received a request to name a road, the Grand Point Road. Daniel Godin, our building inspector, has worked with the individuals and the owners to go through the process to follow the municipal policy to name a new road. And in this case, 75% of the people along this road who answered the survey have confirmed that they agree with the chosen name. Grand Point Road, our policy, we need 66%, so we're respecting our own policy. So the recommendation from Danielle and myself is to proceed with this request to change the name rather than to name this road Grand Point Road, and in French, Chemin de la Grande Pointe. Are there questions on this item? If not, would somebody want to make the motion? Councillor DeVoe. I move that the municipality of the District of Clare approve the request to name the road shared by the PID's property identification number listed below as follows. Property trees in French it would be, in English, Chemin de la Grande Pointe, and in English it will be Grand Point Road. And there are 18 numbers that PID numbers that I will not mention. There's just a correction. There's a small error in the French the number 3072-4864 should not be there in the French in the French version, so the motion is correct, except we should have removed that number in the French version of the motion. Somebody to second this motion? Are you ready for the question? All those in favor? Against? Motion carried. So I guess we're at number 13, which is a closed session. So we have 13.1. It's a question that requires, it's on personnel. I'd like to say good evening to everybody. So we need a motion to adjourn or to go to a private session.